A cat goes missing 200 kilometers from home. 5 months later, it walks back through the front door. No GPS, no map, no human help. So how? In this video, we're going to share what science has actually discovered about the cat's brain. Why some cats make it back and others don't. We're covering all of it. And by the end, you'll probably look at your cat in a completely different way. But here's the thing, there's one question scientists still can't fully answer. Exactly how cats do this, the precise mechanism, remains a mystery. We'll share everything we know. But at the very end, we'll tell you something that might change the way you think about cats forever. Ready? Let's get into it. Every year, millions of people lose their cats. But some cats don't wait to be found, they find their owners. In 2013, in the state of Florida, a cat named Holly got separated from her owners 320 kilometers away. 2 months later, weak, skinny, but alive, she showed up at their front door. The story made it into scientific journals because nobody could believe it. So how did she cover that distance? When cats get lost, they usually have far more information than we give them credit for. The problem is that we don't understand how they use it. But that's just the beginning. The first tool cats use in situations like this, it's something you've probably never thought about. We'll explain it in the next section. Part 2. The magnetic compass. A cat's built-in GPS. Cats have iron in their noses. Seriously. This is scientifically documented. Scientists have long believed that cats are born with magnetoreception, the ability to sense the Earth's magnetic field. In 2022, research published in Current Biology showed that many animal species, including cats, have magnetite crystals in certain tissues. These crystals work like a compass. When a cat lifts its head or looks down its body, senses the direction of the magnetic field. Think about it. Humans spent thousands of years inventing the compass for navigation. Cats never needed to invent one. They were born with it. Animals have been ahead of us by millions of years. We are still trying to learn from them. Dr. Kenneth Lohman, neurobiologist at the University of North Carolina. That's why you'll often notice cats heading in a very specific direction, north, south, when they wander away from home. That's not random. That's the internal compass doing its job. And cats combine this with another sense one, whose power will genuinely surprise you. Part 3. The smell map. A cat's nose is 14 times more powerful than a human's. Cats have around 200 million scent receptors in their nasal cavity. For comparison, humans have about 5 million. But the real magic isn't in the numbers, it's in how they use them. As cats move through an area, they're essentially recording the smell of everything around them. A tree, a stream, a road, each one has its own unique scent signature. Cats store these smells in memory, and on the way back, those scents lead them home. It's as if the cat's brain operates like a smell-based map, at every point checking, I recognize this scent, I'm going the right way. A 2019 study, published in Times Applied Animal Behavior Science Times, confirmed that cats were able to follow their own scent trails back to their starting point, even in completely unfamiliar territory. So when you move house, bring your cat's old blanket and bowls. Those scents are the signals your cat needs to say, this is home. But how do all these senses actually reach the brain? Why is a cat's brain structure so important in all of this? Most people have no idea. The next part is fascinating. Part 4. The cat brain. Small, but powerful. A cat's brain is much smaller than a human's. But in certain areas, cats have us beat. The surface of a cat's cerebral cortex has fewer folds than ours. But the sensory processing centers, the ones handling hearing, vision, and smell, are proportionally much larger. On top of that, the cat's hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for memory and spatial orientation, is remarkably well developed. Cats can build a mental map, not just a single direction, but a three-dimensional, multi-layered, spatial memory. Scientists call this ability spatial memory. And cats update this memory even while they sleep. Yes, while your cat is napping, its brain is processing all the movement data from the day. Cats don't just rely on their senses, they build a map of those senses. Dr. John Bradshaw, animal behavior specialist at the University of Bristol. So, when your cat wanders around the yard, it's not just wandering. It's updating, refreshing its map. Every new smell, every new sound is a data point. But despite all of this, some cats still never make it home. Why? The answer might surprise you, because the problem isn't the cat, it's us. Part 5. Why some cats get lost and some find their way back. Getting home isn't about skill. It's about circumstances. Here's the thing. Under stress, a cat's brain shifts into survival mode. Rational spatial navigation takes a back seat. All that map data it collected temporarily useless. The second major factor is distance. Within their own territory, usually a radius of 1 to 2 kilometers, cats navigate almost perfectly. Beyond that radius, the magnetic compass takes over. But that's a much slower, much harder process. A 2020 meta-analysis published in Animals looked at 925 cases of missing cats. The result was striking. 75% of cats were found within 500 meters of their owner. They don't go far most of the time. They're simply hiding. So, if your cat goes missing, don't panic. Start close. Search garages, basements, neighbors' yards, within a 3 to 4 block radius. Chances are, your cat is less than 200 meters away. But the biggest question is still unanswered. How do cats pull all of these senses together at once? And why can't humans always do the same? The answer lies in one of the most interesting areas of science. Bringing it all together. Let's put it all together. When cats find their way home, they're using 3 systems simultaneously. First, the magnetic compass. They sense the Earth's magnetic field and lock onto a direction. Second, the scent map. As they travel, they log scent points into memory. On the way back, they follow the trail. Third, spatial memory. Using the hippocampus, they build a 3-dimensional mental map of where they've been. When all 3 systems work together, a cat can find its way home from hundreds of kilometers away. But here's the most important thing to take away from all of this. Cats don't plan any of this. It was given to them a system shaped by millions of years of evolution. We humans invented GPS. Cats were born with it. Behavioral ecologist Rupert Sheldrake once said, "The navigational abilities of animals represent a kind of knowledge we don't yet have a name for." The first time I read that, I stopped and thought about it. Because he's right. And here's the question scientists still can't answer. When a cat finds its way home, what's actually pulling it there? The walls, the rooms, the furniture, or the person living inside? Some researchers think it might be the person, but there's no proof yet. If that question keeps you up at night like it does me, subscribe, because our next video is about how animals sense human emotions. And it's just as surprising as this one. Give it a like, leave a comment. If your cat has ever done something that amazed you, share it below. We genuinely love reading those stories.